talked to you guys about the scuba diving analogy, right? I'm going to share it anyway, because this to me is how I illustrate what hell could be like. My wife and I were scuba diving a number of years ago, and we did what's called a shelf dive. And what
Oh,
you're,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, what
Yeah,
you're
no, this is good.
doing, yeah. And it's just so vivid in my memory. I feel like I needed to share it as far because we're talking about hell.
For our
We're doing
listeners, he gave me goosebumps when
it,
because you could feel it as he tells it.
well, so we're doing this shelf dive, right? And a shelf dive is you're on the kind of you're down the island and you're literally diving along the shelf of the island. So you've got all this beautiful coral reef and all these fish and the sunlight's hitting and all this, but you're on the end of literally on the end of the landmass. And in this particular dive, we're down deep enough to where, I don't know how many feet we were at the time because it was a while ago, but you're up there and the sun is only reflecting off the actual coral reef and the fish and all that stuff. But I remember this very vividly. For whatever reason, I make this decision as I'm looking at the reef to just turn around. It's like a 180. I didn't even do a full circle just to kind of see what's behind me because I'm just focused on this reef. And as I do this 180, I turn around and it's just, I'm absolutely just surrounded by pure, just black darkness, like nothing, just surrounded. So much so that I literally got lost in my mind. Like I've just felt lost, not connected with anything. I had no idea where I was. And mind you, we're on this dive with a whole bunch of people, and there's a dive leader and all these things. And that literally happened to me as I turned around and got swallowed up by this darkness that I was lost. And I had to consciously in my mind say, "Hey, idiot, just turn back around." I had to do that. And I remember just this just I don't even know, I can't even describe it in words, but just being lost like that and just feeling so completely insignificant. And then this huge realization, like just turn around one other 180 and you're good. And I remember I just wanted to get back to the boat. I
Yeah.
was done. I wanted to get back. It was just incredible darkness, and I feel like as I later on in life heard this description of Dante and this idea that we turn away from God, and that's what hell is this just darkness. He's not there. I'm like, that's what it was. It was like that, probably 8 million times worse. But to me, that's when I think of hell. I think of that just utter darkness, insignificant, just in the middle of nothing.